Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the On Time on Target morning brief from Invest Fighter Pod Precision on a daily basis. Today, we're going to talk about Amazon, right? Amazon and what the heck is going on. If you followed the news after the close yesterday, they had an earnings report. Now, really, the earnings report was pretty good. I mean, they're putting up fantastic numbers. However, there's the numbers they put up and then the expectations for those numbers, which was the mismatch, and that's what caused some immediate selling. So, it's down 7% or something this morning. I don't think it's going to stay there, but certainly it's something you need to look at, right? For many of us, and especially if you're with me, Amazon is probably in your top three holdings, if not top three, top five. So therefore, you're going to feel that today. If you haven't looked yet, time to pull out the phone and look. But yeah, it's going to be a significant hit, if you will. So let's talk about what do we do? Do we sell it here because it's game over? Do we buy more, or do we just simply hold through this downturn? And that's what we're going to peel back today. All right. Also, as far as our topic of the day, that is our topic of the day. The question of the day is going to be what the heck happened in Robinhood yesterday? I will say, Victory Lap called it. You stay away, it opened at 38. I think it closed at 35, 36, somewhere in there. But anyhow, it was the worst IPO of its size this year on day one. And I think a lot of that has to do with the negative hangover from some of the storylines that it's had. And then, they're probably going to do a corporate greed story on it someday. Throw it up there with Robinhood, Coinbase. DD is a little bit of a different story, but certainly the IPO flopped. But we're going to pull the chart of whopping 1 day chart and kind of look at, hey, it's not a theme that I necessarily like for Robinhood because it's not best of breed. It doesn't have necessarily a high margin, highly addictive product. Okay, maybe I'll give you the highly addictive product. If somebody's 18 or 21 and they grew up on Robinhood, they might be pretty sticky to that brand, if you will. But for the most part, people get a lot more money and they go to brokerages like Schwab, right? That's where I took myself once I hit a certain level, and then that's where I'm taking all my clients because they're going to get to that level eventually if they're not there yet, right? So that's what we're going to talk about. As far as our longs and shorts, I did not put them in the room. I'm going to type the longs right now. The futures are down pretty big, but the long stories are a little more compelling. You have ARDX, which is a bio firm. You have CRISPR Therapeutics, has an compelling story out this morning as well. Little low on volume. And then Capri Holdings, you probably don't know that name, but you do know Michael Kors. It's the parent company for Michael Kors luxury brand. Again, really good numbers. So we'll be looking at those long. On the short side, really nothing fits our criteria except for Amazon. You're not going to short Amazon. You'd be insane to do that. But you might look at Hood and Pinterest. Pinterest, it could go either way. And here's why I'll put it under short, because it's down 20%, right? So, but we use that 5 to 10% criteria of how things fall for the very reason when I studied this and I did all the data, if things had fallen more than 10%, they're more likely to bounce than they are to continue. So that's a fill the gap strategy versus we do gap and go strategy here. I hear you. This week has not been the best trading week. I know that, but we're going to fix that today if we can catch one of these long, especially if the market turns to go long here today. So that's what we've got for our show. Again, peeling back, Amazon is our primary focus for today. If you want to, if you're checking us on a replay, make sure you subscribe, hit the notifications bell. If you want to join us in the room, $25 a month to come on in. You can ask me any question you want on a Q&A panel and a chat window that you don't see on screen. And with that, let's go ahead and get started. All right, here's our lineup card for the day, fighter pilot style on today, the last day of July, on Friday, July 30th. Make sure you have your chat window and your Q&A window set up correctly. And the standard disclaimer applies. This is a financial education presentation. You have to do your own due diligence for acting upon anything you hear this morning. Full disclaimer information is available at the website ototnow.com, or as it was called yesterday, no. I was like, what? Okay, thanks, GoDaddy. It was a fun phone call. All right, mission objectives for today: grow our money, protect our money, and live off our money. All right, one of the main things we've been doing to grow our money is buying Amazon. Right. You have the U.S. consumer, I would say, likes to spend money. That's a pretty solid thesis. We've had COVID in the past, now year and a half, which drove the Amazon stock price down to 1,500 and change, which was a clear buy. So if you remember back in the days of you're literally bleeding out your eyes when you're looking at, not from COVID, right, from looking at your portfolio. So you're sitting at home, you can't go to work. You're freaking out about maybe your neighbors are going to kill you with this COVID thing, and you've got nothing better to do than stare at your phone, and all you're seeing is red numbers that get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Well, for the seasoned investor out there, and many of you are, I also saw you starting to drool over the stock price of Amazon, because yes, were fools that were selling a home delivery consumer goods company in the middle of a pandemic where everyone is stuck at home. People are fire sailing out of their portfolios. Now, are they selling Amazon directly? No, but what they're doing is they're just taking their portfolio and like sell all, goodbye. So they're indirectly selling Amazon, which is where you get that big stock hit, right? So a lot of us got a fantastic entry point. Obviously, many of us had Amazon before that, but certainly those are opportunities you look for to plus up your positions at a fantastic price. It's more than doubled from that, and actually it's gone significantly higher, up to, we'll look at the top here in a minute, but I think 3,500, 3,700 or so, so more than double off that bottom. But let's look forward into the future, okay? Where's Amazon going to be in 5 years, 10 years, 20 years? Pretty safe bet they're still here. And the worst thing, in my opinion, you never know. The founder's already moved on, Bezos. He's off doing other things. So it's going to be around. If anything, it's going to get broken up, right? And if it gets broken up, are you going to make some money? Yeah, Ma Bell. Let's go back a few decades, right? Broke up Ma Bell. You got all 8 different companies, if my math is right. And yeah, they kind of like all took off from there, right? So please shred out or break off Amazon Web Services and make that its own stock. Yes, please. Chips in the middle on Amazon Web Services, right? You talk about low margin, highly addictive product, right? So anyhow, I think it's a good place to have money. We'll look at the chart here in a second. All right, what happened in the hood yesterday? It opened and then it briefly, like literally 30 seconds, went higher, and then it started selling off. So if you got in right at the IPO, like my clients that wanted in, they got exactly 38 at that price. So I will take a red X for yesterday. I called that it was going to open up near 45. Couldn't be more wronger, right? It opened up right at 38 where they said it was. So, okay. So I did have my limit set at 45. I was willing to pay that much, but got 38. And the stock closed at 35. So everybody who bought yesterday lost money. So people who made money, founders of Robinhood, right, and all the initial investors. But is it something you want to be in? We'll circle back to that after we're done with the day trading portion of the show. We'll come back and kind of like, when is this a buy? Everything's a buy at some point. When is this a buy? All right, our flow for today: long, short, open, short, long. We'll do a market review, headline review. We're going to look at long-term investments of Amazon pre-market, and then Hood after we open. We'll get into our short-term execution contingencies, and academic resources are standard. Let's go over to TD Ameritrade Think Pipes. Here's how you have your screen set up for the day trading this morning. I actually have 3 longs in there right now. I do think if the market flips, these 3 are going to be flips, meaning going long as we trend into the open, which it is a little bit. You can see on that left-hand screen, got a little bit of trending for the past, 15 minutes higher. Fridays have been Fridays lately, right? For several months now, Fridays have been a green day. So we'll see. ARDX obviously peaked earlier and sold off a little bit now. Low price point, so be careful. Don't buy a kabillion shares just because you can. But ARDX has a compelling story. It's on an FDA approval. I won't bore you with all the details. You have CRISPR Therapeutics, which is a little more larger company, if you will, not respected, but certainly a name in the news. You see this $9.44 a share of earnings. I don't know, that gets a thumbs up out of me. I do have some in the book. I actually don't have any personally. I looked at that. I was like, I thought I did, but I don't. But CRISPR Therapeutics is certainly trending long, and the storyline, it's just an earnings beat, is the storyline. And the other one is this Capri Holdings, a little bit light on the volume. I'm watching it on another screen. It was at 80K earlier. Capri is up over 100 now, 102. So it's good. It fits our model. And again, Michael Kors, parent luxury of several luxury companies, going long. So that's what we'll take a look at. All right, where are we in the market? Kind of a flattish kind of day yesterday. right? Kind of all week, pretty flat. So bouncing off of new all-time highs, but fairly flat. Here is, that was yesterday. It was up most of the day and then kind of sold off after hours. And here's where we are now, which is down from the day prior. But when you think, oh my gosh, big down day, yeah, let's rewind the tape to Tuesday, because we were already here on Tuesday, right? So it looks a little bit ugly this morning, but don't sweat it. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at those futures specifically. Here we go. I'll refresh this for you. So yeah, you got NASDAQ over 1%. You got the future pairing losses. So that, again, is trending higher on inflation news, or a better than expected inflation news there. But still some pretty significant red there. Amazon obviously carrying some of that down with its size. Europe is in the red across the board. Asia's in the red across the board, so that explains why we're down. So we could do, flip green today. We really could. All right, 10 years, 1.24, nothing, no news there. Oil, nothing new. Gold and silver, but kind of been bouncing off of new highs, so they're selling off a little bit. And crypto selling off a little bit, and Bitcoin anyway, 38.9. All right, let's take a look at headlines. All right, looks like I'm not signed into Pro here, so let's just take care of that real quick so we can see this, maybe. There we go. All right, we'll get signed in here so the display looks correct for me as I'm trying to call this. All right, here we go. Coinbase did get an upgrade. Amazon got an upgrade after the sell-off. Pinterest got a downgrade, so that's the one that's down like 20% and probably fading. Kathy Wood into Robinhood. There's your cut to neutral for Pinterest. I'm not really into the old oil, if you will, because data is the new oil sort of thing. Get out of the old firms, get into green energy, clean energy, that sort of thing. So I'm not really much. I don't have much exposure to Chevron and Exxon, except for they both did crush it, and they both pay big juicy dividends. So the only portfolios I have those in are the ones where I'm really looking for that nice big juicy dividend. All right, another inflation number, 3.5%, but it's actually lower than what we've had lately. So not too bad. Gottlieb, if you're, it's kind of who you believe and who you follow in this saga, if you will. Are you a Fauci guy, a Gottlieb guy? Gottlieb's been saying some pretty negative stuff. Again, it could affect our lives, but I don't think it's going to affect the economy, if you will. Neuralink is getting more. I don't know how to invest in Neuralink. If I could, if I find a way, I will let everybody know, because that's where most of my money is going to go. Again, Neuralink's the AI interface that Elon Musk is working on. So again, I don't have to actually use my hand on the mouse. I can just think about moving the cursor and it works. I'm telling you, that's going to happen, and it's going to make a lot of money. All right, let's look at Amazon real quick for the open. There was Gottlieb on CNBC right now. All right, so here's kind of the story of Amazon. What you don't see is it's 1,500 back here. It's been kind of treading water between 3,000 and 3,400 until lately, to where it just, excuse me, allergies, not COVID. All right, broke, what's this, a month ago, early July, went above 3,500. Well, it went up to what, 37. Now it's sold off to 3,600. Now that it's had earnings, it's down at 33. Well, let's pull it up here. AMZN. 33.50. So where is that on this chart? It's back here. So you're where you were like a month and a half ago. It's bounced at these levels. It's a clear buy long term. If you don't have any of it, you need it in your portfolio. You just do, right? It's like Apple. It needs to get in there. So you'd rather pay this price, or of course you'd rather pay 1,500 if you could go, get your time travel machine. But you can buy it here. You look at all their numbers. Nobody's shorting this thing. It doesn't pay a dividend. You don't want them to. You want them to continue to grow. So Amazon, with today's sell-off down at 33.50, I think is a clear buy. All right, give me a second. We'll set up for the market open. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the On Time, On Target play of the day. We have 10 seconds to the market open on today, Friday, July 30th. Futures are down, but they are trending higher, as you can see on this left-hand chart. There's your opening bell. We have a 1-minute chart over here on the S&P 500. I have 3 longs. I have ARDX, which has been kind of selling off, so we'll probably bail on this one. It's only up 3%. CRISPR also now only up 3%, but it gapped up significantly earlier. Amazon's down at 7.5%. Don't you short that. Don't do it. Don't do it. All right, too strong. And you have Capri Holdings, which is at the top of the end of the fund here. You can see they beat earnings significantly. They had a good conference call this morning. So I'd be more inclined to take this long. So this is my favorite right now. So think a 50-cent stop. Here's the low of the day, 54.25. So that puts us in at 54.75, which is already where it is. So I'm not too excited about that. So let's surf a second. I'm going to look at some of the other longs. Nope. Mostly the longs are your index funds. All right, I've got some shorts pulled up there. Let's see what's going on here. So the market in a minute too, still going higher. ARDX is actually, look at that. It's better. It's basically, that's a 3-hour move right there, and it's 2-cent stop. That's just too tough to trade right there. CRISPR doesn't appear to be moving a whole lot, even though I like that storyline. And Capri, we would need a better entry. All right, let's look at, I like that move. So let's look at a $1.25 in CRISPR Therapeutics. It's such a strong name. We've got some strength into the market here. The low is at 121. If we called it 130, that would be $1.30. That would be 123 would be our entry point, and then it would have to go up to 127. Let's zoom out for a second. Yeah, we could take that trade. Again, long 121.7 is the low of the day, so that's where we're covering. It actually is better if it comes in a little bit lower, and then we'll take it going higher at 123 even for a $1.30 stop. I may tighten that up to $1 stop, actually. Okay, new low of the day there. Down to, we'd have to call it 121 to cover. And we could take it at 122.25 going back higher here, if it holds. Just making a quick note there. 122.25. Zoom in a little bit here on what's going on. So again, covered below the, it looks like there may be a new low of the day coming up. All right, not inclined to dork with that very long. Let's look around a little bit more on the downside. Let's look at that Pinterest story. So PINS. Yeah, it did. It was, so this is one of these cases where you're right. It went down so much. It was down almost 20% earlier. People have been buying it here. Now, does it have the strength? It's already powered up to being only down 16.5%. Does it really have enough strength to go higher from here? I don't think so. This would actually be more of a short here. You'd have to cover it 60.65 and take it south. I don't think it's going higher. All right, here we, if you were going to enter CRISPR, you missed it because I was talking. So the entry down to cover to 121 would be 122.25. And then Capri's taken off as well. So I don't think I'm going to take a trade this morning. But the good news is the market's been up higher for 4 minutes. The longs appear to all be working. Was that ARDX earlier? It's bouncing pretty good too. Yeah, if you want to hop in and trade this, you can. I'm not going to. So let's give up on the trades this morning and look at what's going on in the bigger picture. All right, in the upper left-hand corner, we'll look at the names in the green. You have CRISPR up 3%. Realty income, that generally doesn't move too much. It's up 1.5%. Nikola bouncing off of yesterday's sell-off. DOC is a healthcare REIT. XLRE is real estate. So a lot of real estate names up today. But not too many names are up, but there's a few. All right, let's take a look. Amazon down at 7.7%. Again, I think that'll end up the day higher than there. I don't think it's going to continue to sell off. KWeb down. Alibaba down 2%. DD had a negative headline this morning. I don't see it. Let's pull up DD here real quick. Okay, it's not moving a whole lot. Still below 10. I think it's a buy below 10. I said yesterday it's a must-own stock. I agree. When you hop in, it's kind of up to you. I hopped in yesterday and put, myself and more aggressive folks in. It was right below 10. So anyhow, I'm a little bit down from where I bought it. But I think when you look at the long-term story of DD, you're going to like it. So down a percent though on the day. All right. Let's go to Robinhood. We're going to stay on this screen and look at the Robinhood IPO to kind of cover our topic of the day. So here's how Robinhood was yesterday. It opened at 38 even. I mean, look at that. So 38 even, we are on a 5-minute chart. We'll take this down to a 1-minute chart. So opened up at where we are. Here we are, 38. In that first minute or two, it topped out at 40.25. And obviously there's somebody who bought right there, right? Because that's a pain point. But somebody bought right here and somebody sold right there. So there's a transaction there. And then it came all the way down to 33, which is a little bit unrealistic. Came all the way back to basically the entry point at 38 and then started to sell off from that. So there was a storyline that if you're a Robinhood user, you could buy the stock at 38. So everybody went, oh, well, that just means the stock price must be worth 38. Well, that thought didn't last long. It's like, no, they're willing to let you pay 38 for it. Good deal for you. Or you just buy it on the open market for less. I think most people take other people up on that deal. But anyhow, it's sticking around here at 33.80. I do think it has potential. I don't think this 33 is safe necessarily. So if you're looking at, well, I don't think it's going to break down below where it was. This is asymmetric upside situation. I don't think there's anything that tells me that that's safe at all to hop in here. So anyhow, do what you want with Robinhood. It's very early in the trading. Remember, Palantir traded flat for like 3 weeks before doubling. So these things can move. Coinbase started down and continued down basically for I don't know, like 8 weeks or something like that. It was pretty significant. So, all right, that's all I've got for you today. Thank you so much for listening in. A little bit of a short show, but we will get on to our Friday, and we'll see you guys back bright and early Monday morning. Have a good one.